So Kevin Kinkor, I'm actually a co-founder of a talent consulting company. We work with tech startups to help them build, tweak their talent function, and they get them through massive hiring times. How I came to be with PeopleTech had a lot to do with the fact that technology is one thing that's helping the HR and technology or the talent fields really get better at what they do. And so having a partnership with PeopleTech and understanding what's coming down the line has actually helped a lot of my clients start putting innovative things in place. And so I want to be there right away to understand it so that I can bring it to market and help out these great companies that are changing things that need to change, because HR technology was way behind the curve. I think the biggest one falls in being able to find, well, we're mostly on the talent side, being able to find great candidates for them. And it seems to become harder and harder and harder as the unemployment rate goes lower and lower and lower. Everyone has options. Do they make a move? They want to feel comfortable making that move if they do so. So some of the technologies that have come through PeopleTech allow our customers to find harder to reach candidates. One of their investments, Drafted, allows you to look into all the employees, all the participating employees' networks and match them up to jobs so that you can quickly do a referral, which is one of the best ways to hire and find top talent. This didn't exist before. This used to be something where you had all these meetings and you had pizza parties and you spent so much time working on it. They took it down to 10 minutes. That's all it takes for you to get the whole thing set up and to get going. And for recruiting teams, it quickly sped up the hiring process. And I've implemented this at a few companies, and right away, one, the innovation makes the executive team feel better about the approach they're taking, and two, we get results. So, and I'd say PeopleTech is found in almost every single piece of the HR ecosystem, some way to improve it, to make it better. I've seen the trend change in that employees are going, or candidates are going to companies, they're getting hired, and then they're not interested in the company. Something happens, they're changing. Those days of staying at a company for 15, 20, 30 years, long gone. Now you're hoping 2 or 3 years, but you're seeing a lot of one after another after another. I think more visibility, transparency into the company, the culture, and whether or not that's the right match for you as the individual is actually helping out everyone in the company and the employee. So I see technologies, both in HR and talent, going in that direction, so that overall making better decisions. When I started my career 20 years ago, there was no LinkedIn. And so you were just building, you hope you had a good database of the company that you worked at. And the time to fill, it took a while. It was 60, 90 days, because you had to go out and just sourcing and finding the people alone could take 2 or 3 weeks. Now with LinkedIn, and then with technologies that are latching on to what LinkedIn has done, you're bringing down that sourcing and that first phone interview into the first week. And so instead of 60, 90 days, now talent teams can hire within 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and once they have the system down, they understand what they're looking for. They have the process of making hires and closing candidates, and they have a solid employee brand. All of it's in place for them to be successful, and this is what technology has done. And I think it's going to go a little bit further. As we continue to talk to companies, there's aspects of even the interview process where we can use artificial intelligence to start screening so that we can understand, again, that match right away and the scalability behind it. Instead of having one human being that could possibly do, 20 to 25 phone screens in a week, you could have an artificial human being do potentially hundreds inside of a day. So I think that's someplace that we see this going, not replacing the human being, but rather bringing the time to fill down and the scalability of hiring. The human element that's going to be very hard to replace in the interview process is that you are selling the candidate on the employee brand, the culture coming there. It's going to be hard for a computer to do that. Who knows when that will happen? But from a candidate perspective, wouldn't it be great if you could go in and actually have the questions asked to qualify for the job while turning around and going through a litany of FAQs? And since you're not talking to a real human being, if you want to span that out to a whole hour without having a negative impact, that's absolutely fine. So you quickly get that piece of it, And then the recruiter that's in process will work on actually selling the role, selling the company, bringing the two sides together. It's a lot of time that you bring down, and quite frankly, that we love talking to people, having that repetitive same questions going over and over and over again, 25, 30, 40 people to fill a role. I think a lot of us would like to bring that down to 8 to 10 people. And then of those 8 to 10 people, we're only giving actually 4 over to our hiring managers. And you can see all of the content to understand why these top 4 should talk to the hiring manager, should come on site, should interview. So maybe that time to fill goes down to a couple weeks. Be awesome. Again, doesn't replace the human being. It just optimizes the process. PeopleTech has become, in some way, a who's who of emerging or very incredible technology, not just in the HR space. And so the knowledge share that we're using about what's the trends that are happening today, I kind of feel like it puts everybody ahead. And so we have this Google group that I bet a lot of people would like to be part of, because the information shared there gets us essentially on the cutting edge. And so I participate mainly in the talent area, since I have more experience than I ever thought I'd have, in giving that back to the group to help them out. So I think it's twofold. One, I think part of it is poking holes at their technology, and then allowing them know where their gaps are and what trends are happening in the market so they can prioritize their features. I think the other is presenting them opportunities. Somebody like me is going to be able to translate to a company why it's advantageous to use this technology. Certainly when it's just emerging, they only have 10, 20, possible clients. I can look at what gaps it's going to mitigate, and I can help drive it as well by making introductions to people that I know, and build that relationship out. And that's mainly what I've done with the PeopleTech companies, is make those introductions and to help bring them to success.